This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. We are approaching a brand new year. And I don't think I speak alone when I say this, that many of us approach a new year as a new start, like a reboot, like a reset. We're going to talk about the reset and why you should have no regrets in doing any of that. At least that's my point of reference since we are coming up on a new year. But then again, some people see a new moon every year. If you subscribe to astrology and say, you know what, that's or either a full or a new moon, hey, that's a reset for me. She is a strategic development life coach and brings so much insight to us. Cindy Valente is back with us. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great, Steve. How about yourself today?
Honestly, I'm going to say this, looking forward to the reset.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Well, then it all works. So then this was a good topic to come up with.
I don't mean that in a negative way.
No, I agree.
And my friend and I we're committing. Like we started working out a month ago, like intentionally, regularly. He wants to get up early in the morning, meet at the gym. I'm like, okay. But I feel like we're the plane on the runway ready for January 1st takeoff. So we're already ramping up where a lot of people just like run into the gym for 2 weeks and then, now their credit card is getting hit and that's it. But there's something and especially this year, a lot of people are saying the same thing. It's almost as if they're describing a reset. Is that where you're going with this in terms of a reset?
You know what? Yes. I mean, I try not to do New Year's resolutions because I feel like I set myself up for failure instead of so this is why I came up with this, because it takes you kind of back to where you were, maybe some regrets, and you can reset the regrets. And I think that's where I want to go to, instead of setting all these goals that are unrealistic. This is realistic because this is who you were and who you are resetting to become.
Can I share one thing before we
Please
move forward here? Because you're at that New Year's resolution thing. I stopped doing them, and now I do the word of the year. And I try to pilot by the one word. What would your word be? Take a second. Take a second to think about it. I'll share mine, so just maybe a point of reference. And everybody's word could be different. But my word 2 years ago was resilience, because I realized certain things like, hey, you know what? Bounce back from some stuff. Whoa. And this past year, 25, it was execution. Ideas, get them done. Now, I look at the things I got done, but not all of them went where I wanted them to go. And I realize how and why. I'm grateful I figured things out there. I'm thinking this year for me, it's going to be growth in all areas. Growth. That's my word. What's coming up for you?
I would say for me, unapologetic.
Love it.
For so many reasons.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. Yeah.
You Seriously. Put me on the spot and I figured it out, but that is truly where I truly think that would be my word of the year.
Good for
you. Resonates in me and within me. So I like
I'm not gonna steal your word. Maybe it's my second word, but I'm there with you on that one. It's like, you know what? I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the right thing. And if you're not happy with it, I'm sorry. That's, you go your way, I go my way, and that's it.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Let's wipe that slate and maybe ride on our words of the year. How do we do the reset? What's the process?
All right. Well, welcome to Reset, Don't Regret. This is where we stop replaying the past and start redesigning what's next. No shame, no spirals, just getting real about growth, perspective, and choosing yourself again and again, because your reset doesn't need permission and your future doesn't need your regret. So let's reset.
Take us through that journey.
Okay. Our resets don't need permission. Waiting for permission is just fear wearing good manners. And that makes so much sense to me. I love that. And who are we waiting on? Who do we think has to approve our reset? Partners, friends, coworkers, social media, parents, or our old selves? So instead of asking for permission, grant yourself permission first. Own your reset. Fear doesn't get a vote.
Did you say that fear the reset fear with good manners, or are we just getting rid of fear? We're trying to.
Trying to get rid of fear and doing the reset. So waiting for permission is fear wearing good manners. So it's
Okay,
kind of in disguise. So
gotcha.
we're disguising fear into so many things, but and being where I say this with good manners is we all just try to be nice. We try to go along with the flow, and it's unapologetic. We don't need permission for any of this. And we own our truths and we own ourselves. And I think that's where we all should strive for. It's not easy, takes time, takes practice. But if we can all strive to reset, we're going to be a whole lot better off than those who don't. That's
Mm,
all I can say.
mm. Well, no apologies goes right back to your
Right,
word of the year,
right,
and fear gets in the way. I mean, it is the fundamental fallback for all of us where it's hard to get past the fear, which can get in the way of the reset, can it?
right. I mean, we bring fear up a lot because it takes us to a place where we become stuck and we can't get out of it. And if we can find a way, each individually, to get past the fear and reset. And maybe that's, someone's word today is fear. How can I reset my fear? And I think that's a great place to start.
Mm. But let's say we have goals. Let's say we're thinking of things that we want to do. Um, or is that part of the reset? Should we have those in mind? Not necessarily the New Year's resolutions. Let's
Right.
face it, in 14 days, most of them go away anyway. But is is that part of the reset? Or should we just wipe the slate and not even think about that stuff?
I think that's a personal choice. I mean, some people can just say, that's it. I'm not looking back at all. And even if they do a little bit, they can reset and not go back. But yeah, I think for sure going forward is key. And if some people can just say, that's it, today's January 1, fresh start, not looking back, good for them. I think that's fantastic.
Hmm. So
You know, it's
what's the method for the reset?
so there's lots of ideas for sure. So I'm going to talk to, I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring this into it because but I like to keep things simple. And so I decided to go this direction because there are so many common regrets. And I know we all know them. It's almost like a diet. We know how to start it, we know what to do, but do we do it? Do we stick with it? So see, these are some of the common ones. I waited too long. And that resonates with me because I'm not 20. So, but the reset is start before you feel ready. That's a commitment.
Hmm.
And, I cared too much about what people thought. So your reset is choose alignment over approval.
I love what you just said there. Start before you're ready
Uh-huh.
because you think you're wasting time, but if you already set the intention, even if you're not 100% ready, like yeah, I have this goal. Let's say you want to start a side hustle business and you got the idea, you got some of the pieces there, but you need to get a couple more pieces together to really initiate. You already, if you're thinking about it, you already started,
Mhm.
and we don't realize that. And
That's
then
right.
and then what we do, we beat ourselves up. We say, well, you know what? I should have done this. Why am I waiting? Like I got to get this. You're already on the path. Just
Right.
stay on a positive path. Don't beat yourself up.
And it's okay if it's messy. It's still a path and you're still
Mm,
getting their mental mindset to this is where I'm going. And so if you just keep working on your little baby steps that we've talked about too, so many times, that really does set you up for success and your reset, whatever that whatever that personally is for you.
Love it. These are things you don't think about, but that makes total sense. And I don't even think about it until you say it. And that's your superpower. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Because there's a couple of things I'm thinking about I want to achieve. But step one, you already thought about it. So you're
Right?
on the path.
Yes.
But you could look at it as like, well, I didn't do it yet. I need to do this. I need to do that. But you're already ready for takeoff.
I agree. And this is one that hit home for me is I stayed where I was shrinking, and then I was reminded, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Mm.
What do you think of that?
That's a beautiful statement, but also a harsh one to accept
Hmm.
because you could be in a situation where they're just tolerating me. That hurts.
Right, right. But then again, you're just shrinking yourself to adjust and adapt.
Yeah, it's not. And I think this is the most important thing. You're not being authentic.
Right?
You're
Yes.
the whole the square peg round hole situation where you're just trying to fit into this just to continue whatever this is, be it a relationship, be it, hey, listen, I was at a job, my second job. The first one I was at was for 6 months, and then it was radio. I was still in high school. Then I got a job at a station which was like huge. And I stayed there for 26 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was all good and very successful run. And I'd left it years ago, and people still know me for that one gig in this city. But it was changing. They were going in a different direction. I was honestly, they were going kind of rude and crude, and I'm not that way. That's just not. I'm not feeling that. And so I feel like I was tolerating them. They were tolerating me, and I wasn't being celebrated anymore. And it was a staff change, management, and everything. It was feeling
Right.
right. It took a long time of soul searching, tears,
Hmm.
fears.
What's a gigantic change?
I even went to another state looking at it, another position they were offering, but it was just didn't make sense. And I woke up on a Monday and said to myself, Wednesday's your last day. And I walked in and said, yeah, Wednesday's it. Are you serious? Like, yep. And it was a mutual parting, but that's exactly what you're saying. I was tolerating them, they were tolerating me,
Mhm.
but I wasn't being celebrated. And not that you always need the pat on the back, but just to feel
Right.
like you're part of something where you flourish and belong. If it's not
Right.
feeling that way, you're not being authentic. And that could be even a relationship.
It can apply to so many things,
How
so
many
many
things?
places
Yeah.
in our lives for
Yeah.
sure. But it feels better when you get to the part where you not only are you being celebrated, you're celebrating yourself for getting out of that place where you either were shrinking or stuck or, not flourishing. And those are baby steps. And we all know baby steps lead to big steps. So that's the direction that, we all should go.
Mm.
And ignoring your gut instinct.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, whoa, my head just spun.
Your body gets it before your mind ever does. So
Oh, you
that's
were
where the
saying
gut
don't ignore
instinct.
the gut instinct.
Yeah, don't ignore your gut
Okay.
instinct. Those are gigantic resets.
I like was riddled with fear just now. Like I thought
I
you were
said
saying,
it wrong.
ignore your gut instinct. Well,
No, no,
no,
no.
that's what all I got. What are you gonna do now?
I said
Yeah.
I ignored my gut instinct.
So
But
that is there's the $50 Cindy tip right there.
I love it. But your body does really get it before your mind does. It's just listening to your gut, red flat, whatever you want to call it. It's there. And don't let it pass you by because it's monumental.
It's everything.
Hmm.
And there's been research on this, there's books on it, body keeps score, all of that. Your
Hmm.
body doesn't lie. So
Right.
maybe you're in a situation, no, it's not that bad. I'll just hang in here, however long I need to till the end of time, whatever it might be. But if it's coming up as it's not the right thing for you, it's not the right thing for you.
Right.
Horrible,
And that's
but it is what it is. That's it.
right. That's where you need a reset for sure.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and don't forget to set your boundaries sooner rather than later. Boundaries are self-respect, not punishment. I know
Yep.
it's a big word. I almost think set your boundaries is almost overused. It's very common and it kind of loses validity, but it's very true. We all need to set our boundaries, whatever they may, big ones, small ones. It's important for our self-preservation to not get stuck in that place.
Took me a long time to figure that out.
Oh, me too. These ideas that I come up with are going back to my journals, my old affirmations, places I was, because these podcasts all resonate within me and come from who I was, who I'm becoming, and it's important. So these things all do matter, not only to me, but I think to a lot of people.
Yes. And it's funny that we talk about this stuff, but it takes a journey. These are the things you've learned along the way. You're making, again, back to your superpower, making us all think. Because I don't want to say that's where I went wrong, but things would have been different if I honored my intuition,
Mhm.
if I respected my boundaries. We all
Yes,
know what our boundaries are.
right.
You know. I don't want to say, hey, I don't know what they are. You know.
You know,
If you listen to your heart inside, you'd be there. But again, right back to the beginning, fear. Why
right.
don't we act on our boundaries? Because fear gets involved. You don't put up boundaries with a relative. Well, what if they're
Mhm.
going to be mad at me? If it's a friend, what about if they won't hang out with me anymore or they won't be there when I need them? So I'll just suck it up and I'll show up to help them do something like I've done a million times before, but I'm busy
Mhm.
this weekend or whatever it is. Goes right back to fear, I believe, because
And safe.
and safe. Yeah. Yeah. And you would never even equate those two things, the boundaries, with that, because it sounds easy. Well, I'll just tell them how I feel, or I'm not going to do that anymore. But we don't because we soften up and don't stick to our values, our standards, if you will. And then, either people walk all over you, you do things you don't feel align, you're not being authentic. Do you really think I use that word a couple of times? Do you think that that's a lot of what goes on in our lives where we feel off and we don't know what it is, but it's we're not being authentic, i.e., we're not being true to ourselves. We're not being
Right.
us.
We're not speaking our truths.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
with like the boundaries, if we sometimes, I mean, I do this, I think of all the things I could have said, should have said, wish I would have said, but I didn't, because I just felt safe, it was comfortable, and I didn't set my boundaries. And then I regret that I didn't do those things, and then I reset. How am I going to do it differently next time?
Yep. Yep. And it's so easy to forget too, because
Right.
you do this, like you think about it. This is what's important to me, and then a couple of months go by, and then you're in a situation, and then you've let the boundary guard down,
Mhm.
or the like they do with kids at the and some adults too at the bowling alley where they put the bumpers up.
Oh
You let
yeah.
them go down, and then the ball goes into the gutter, and then you just forget that But it all comes back to fear.
Right. That's true.
Mm,
We need to do a whole segment on fear and just getting out of it. I'll come up
horrible.
with something.
It's it's so good, but it's so horrible. It's good
Mhm.
because it's there to protect you from the beginning of time,
Right.
our time, but it also gets in the way. Now it's like the double-edged sword, but is it really just striking the balance of working with your fear so it's doing you the best justice, but minimizing it when you need to?
I think so. I mean,
Mm,
I think we all like to be in our bubble and our comfort zone,
mm.
and setting our boundaries takes us outside of our comfort zones. And so does, fear kind of traps us. But if we can, burst the bubble and get ourselves out there in so many avenues, and it shrinks the fear. because you're hopefully focusing on these other positive things to get away from the fear. And it's a distraction. It's a good distraction,
Mm.
so it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid. You're thinking about what are you going to do about it?
What else can you tell us about the reset?
So playing it safe. What would you try if failure wasn't part of your story?
I'll need a moment on that one.
All right.
It's a good question. I need to put that into perspective.
All
Like, what
right.
would you be doing? Say that one more time.
What would you try if failure wasn't part of the story? You can think about it.
Yeah,
All right.
a lot of things can come up.
Abandoning yourself to keep the peace. That goes back to boundaries. Where are you quiet just to avoid conflict?
Hmm. I've learned this in the last, I'm going to say year, that I run from drama and I run from conflict that I don't need to confront. I really do. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Like
Right.
whatever, all the people who like love drama and all that, I don't deal. I'm sorry. I've gotten to the point where I'll watch TV. I'll listen to music instead of dealing with people but I never used to do that. So I would just get wrapped
Oh,
up in
that's
somebody else's drama and then it just starts bringing you down. Um, but yeah, that's something to think about.
Well, I brought that up because we're all going into the holidays where, we're going to be maybe with people we are uncomfortable around. And, are we staying quiet to avoid the conflict? Heck
Mm,
yeah, we are. But you know what? That's a boundary. And I think that's okay. It's a good place to be. And it doesn't, holidays or stressful moments, they don't need to be uh, an important part of our lives. They don't need to be the forefront of where we are in our lives and in our space. It's not important, go take the high road, go start thinking good thoughts, and talk to yourself in a positive way. I think that's a big deal. If you have to leave the room, go look in a mirror reflection or something and talk to yourself. This is, and reset yourself. Jump up and down, do jumping jacks or something, reset.
mm. And remember, you always have this one thing. You have choice.
Mhm.
So somebody triggers you at a holiday gathering and they're talking about politics and doesn't align, whatever it might be, you don't have to talk to them.
That's right.
You don't. You really don't. Like, give me a reason why, if you don't want to deal with this situation, why do you have to? I don't, I'm not coming up with an answer why. You can just politely say respectfully, it's a really great point you bring up there.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna go get, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go get
exactly.
some more,
I
ziti
mean,
or whatever it is.
but we all know how to bow out gracefully. And there are many, there's thousands of ways to bow out gracefully instead of just standing there with your body posture tensing up or not knowing how to walk away. It's not a selfish act. It's just avoiding conflict, avoiding the drama, and I think that's absolutely acceptable. I've done it. I'm sure we've all done it, and getting out of it. And the more I learn, the more I realize that that is just a great place to be when you can choose who you want to be with, how you want to be with them. It's empowering.
You said the
It's
word choose.
powerful.
You have a choice. You have
That's
a
right.
choice.
That's right.
Just about out of time. Any final thoughts?
I do. So one more thing is we all think we have more time.
Mm,
What would change today if today wasn't guaranteed? So a couple things for you to think about, but you can answer it. We can talk about that next time if you want.
mm. Everybody has, people have different amounts of money, abundance, and things like that. We all have the same thing, time.
Right. It doesn't matter.
You don't have more than I do.
Right.
You know, you-
And since I've already faced how important that is, I understand how important that is. So, I live my life intentionally far more than I did 5 years ago. So sometimes it takes catastrophic things to have that resonate within you. But as long as it does on some capacity, you're a winner.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. And um, I guess proof of that is the 40 stitches that were removed from my lower back last week for melanoma.
Oh my goodness.
All
Wow,
good. We're all
that's
yeah.
quite a week.
and,
That's a lot.
and add to that another 30 stitches up here and here. Oh, if you can't even see it.
No,
And
you cannot.
they say I healed well.
There you
And
go.
that this year alone, and everybody's got their thing going on. I think I've had 100 stitches.
That's a lot. Wow.
Well, I'm Frankenstein. But you know what? That kind of puts things into perspective. And I think we need to start thinking about those things, what you have, being grateful and all. I know you are. We've talked about that before. And yeah. Um, Best way to reach you is your website, right? I think she just froze up. I don't know if you can still hear us. CindyValente.com. Cindy I'm sorry, CindyVelente.com. The weirdest thing, she just froze up at that point. If you can hear us, Cindy, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. I love all the lessons that you've shared with us. I want to say happy holidays, and we will catch up soon. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.